Hey everyone, I'm going to make just a really quick video. So basically this morning, Danielle Sassoon did the government's second closing statement, and she kept it short. She only spoke for like 45 minutes, but there were a few key arguments I think that I hadn't heard elsewhere. So one thing is that she asked why it is that Sam chose Caroline to kind of help perpetrate some of the crimes or the alleged crimes. And she said, look at their romantic relationship. Like, why did he choose Caroline as his trusted deputy? It was, because in that relationship he had all the power. And then she talked about how Caroline, discussed the effect that it had on her to, starting especially with the loans to the lenders in the summer of 2022. Where Caroline had talked about how that was some of the worst months of her life, when she knew that she was committing crimes, and that she was worried that people would find out. Then there was one thing that I feel like was really new, which is that essentially there was one moment where Danielle Sassoon said basically that what SBF said in his own testimony indicates that he's guilty. And she brought up some legal theory called conscious avoidance. And she said, so I'm sorry that I didn't manage to write down what that exactly means, but essentially, he'd been saying that there were safeguards for people's money, but there weren't actually. And he directed changes to the code that would treat Alameda's accounts as different from everyone else's. But that, even if you follow his story where he says that he didn't know about the fiat ad liability until the fall of 2022, that is evidence of conscious avoidance, and that makes him guilty of these charges. And she said, even if you believe every word of his unbelievable story, the fact that at the point he found out about the fiat ad liability, that he didn't tell everybody and didn't come clean about it, that he knew at that point that they had spent billions in customer deposits, and he knew Alameda's, the way Alameda had spent that money wasn't liquid, that all of that adds up to conscious avoidance. So even if the jury decides to believe SBF's testimony, that makes him guilty of these charges. So that was interesting. I hadn't heard that before. She basically said that at that moment that he claims that he finally did understand things that the other co-conspirators say that they knew before, that makes him part of the conspiracy at that point, and so therefore he's guilty. Anyway, I'm just going to give you some quick updates also on the schedule. So basically, yes, you're right, I came out before lunchtime, and the reason is because right now the judge is reading I forget what it's called, the jury instructions, and it's a 60-page document, and he's literally reading it. And I listened for a little while, but then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try to run home and take a nap because I am so tired. And it might be a late night. Essentially, he thinks that the jury is going to get going to be able to start deliberations at around like 2 or 2:30. And so, yes, they will not only get free pizza, but a choice of other kinds of food. And he arranged for them to get cars at 8:15 if it goes until 8:15. So, there's 7 counts, and right now, like I said, he's walking through what bar the government has to meet in order for them to find Sam Bankman-Fried guilty of any of them. So who knows how long it might take them. But since there's 7 of them, like, it's probably not going to be just like 5 minutes or anything like that. But the point is, anyway, I just figured while he's reading these instructions, I'm going to run home, take a nap, and then come back. And I don't know how late I'll be here, but we'll see. And who knows? I don't know if they'll come up with a verdict today. The main thing also is that we are not going to be coming here tomorrow. So I personally feel like the jury is going to be motivated to wrap this up today so that they don't have to return on Monday. But there are 7 charges, so I don't know. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do it all in the time that they have. So anyway, we'll see. But I will be back in the courtroom so that I can report on what happens the moment it happens. All right, see you. Bye.